meteorologist Chase Jones.
Well, we're looking at the last warm day for a while because by tomorrow night we'll be below freezing. But by the end of the week, right back up into the 70s. Now, some shorter long wave troughs or some shorter short wave troughs and short wave ridges are going to be making their way across the rest of the country. So the weather might get a little more normal. Looking at the temperature change over the last 24 hours yesterday, going from those mid 60s all the way down into those lower 40s last night. Then we shot all the way up into those mid 70s, and we're cooling off pretty quickly underneath these clear skies. But those northerly winds are going to pick up by tonight and cool us off even faster. 73 in San Angelo. Everybody else in a combination of those mid to lower 70s across the entire region, but we have our eye up to the north for any of those blues trying to slide their way in by tonight. 72 in Sterling City, 76 down there in Junction, looking like about 4 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, despite seeing some of those clear skies. But the cold wind definitely on its way in. Now, a lot of the cold weather reminds me that the KSAN coat drive is going to end by the end of the month. Now, you have 2 weeks until Christmas, but only 3 weeks until 2025, so make sure you get out there and make some of those hefty donations. Of course, we're looking at the dew points and the humidity across the entire region. 30s and not all the way down into those 20s for those dew points, while the humidity indices are in those teens all the way up into those 20s. So we're looking at some dry conditions, but we're on the lookout for some of those frosty mornings as some of this cold weather starts to make its way in. Now, the moisture tracker is going to show you how some cold air is definitely going to slide its way in and calm things down across the rest of the nation. But areas like Wyoming and Colorado facing another winter storm on its way. Now, things are set to get a little more quiet, if not a little less extreme. Long wave trough showing you this strong pattern going to make its way through. But as we get closer towards the end of the week, again, seeing some short wave ridging and some short wave troughing. You see it sort of lingering to the northern part of the nation. That's going to keep things relatively calm. And we're just looking at some light cloud cover. Of course, we could do with more rain, but I don't think we're going to see any anytime soon. Of course, water vapor imagery tracking that winter storm, making its way from Montana around Wyoming and then headed into Colorado. While down here in the Concho Valley, we're really just focusing on some of those high winds expected again by tonight. Severe weather outlook really just off towards Louisiana and the Gulf Coast, where they were dealing with some tornado warnings earlier today, but really just dealing with some flash flooding. But we're getting a better idea of this winter storm where all that cold air is going to be making its way in by tonight. So we're really just sort of focusing on those winds. I keep talking about it, but it's definitely going to be more prominent once we sort of find our way past the futurecast. Now, we're going to keep our eye on the light cloud cover by tonight, tomorrow morning, but you're seeing how waves of it will make its way through for a pretty calm Wednesday. But by Thursday morning, we're watching some of that light cloud cover again push back in from the west. So tonight, really just focusing sort of on those winds again. You'll see it push in by tonight, then by tomorrow, really sort of picking up. So tie down the decorations while you're sort of dripping the pipes and pulling the plants in and making sure the pets are all safe, because this cold weather is definitely going to stick around for a while. So tonight, back down to the 40s, keeping our eye on some of those high winds. Then tomorrow, only up into the 50s. But as we make our way closer towards the evening, going to be pushing all the way down. Take a good look towards those upper 20s. Then we're going to warm up into those 60s, and then we fight back and forth between 60 and 70 as we get closer towards the weekend. But by this weekend, we're going to see those temperatures drop back down between those lower 60s, if not those upper 70s, while those overnight lows push up from those freezing levels around those lower 50s. Stay tuned one more for the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.